Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Hasbanallahu wa ni'ma wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I want to take you back to Obuasi because when the Onia team went to Obuasi, they were literally chased away by a certain hoodlum who was later picked up by the police. And wherever he drew his strength from, you cannot say that the people in authority who were managing the district or municipal security did not have intelligence or a wind that he was coming to do what he did. He actually came to tear down the setup for the Onia FM, Captain Smart, Onia TV, their outside broadcast there. This is not an outside broadcast that has been sponsored by the state. This is an outside broadcast sponsored from a private media house to help people understand what the issues really are. At that same time, we were in Accra doing the mining summit, talking about the same things in English. He and his team had gone there to speak about it in Chi, and it was prevented. The broadcast was delayed for a long time. But there was a woman who spoke at that particular, engagement. Listen to him.
I've warned you, sometimes our people disagree with you, but
Nyankopon ku MP ba ko ne anya ba election na na kufa do baba kromu ha ba umbi ya baba kromu ha yakopa ye de srade nyina beto omanim obaba ya ma enti ba election na nyambi o ya man kofo onye bi mai okuko ate mai na na mu baba kromu ha obaba betie ya kam me ya tete me da ase ne akonya wo de ama mi wonu TV so Obuasi kromu ha Nyankopon nya ba election ni bi mai Nyankopon ku MP ba ko ne anya ba election na na kufa do baba kromu ha ba umbi ya baba kromu ha yakopa ye de srade nyina beto omanim obaba ya ma enti ba election na nyambi o ya man kofo onye bi mai okuko ate mai na na mu baba kromu ha obaba betie ya kam me ya tete me da ase ne akonya.
This is what the people of Obuasi are beginning to think, and they are not alone in that thought. Condemnable, unfortunate, a sad narrative, and a bad precedence, if you ask me. But where is this coming from? This is coming from the fact that the people have seen that each time there's a by-election, suddenly roads will be constructed. Suddenly issues that have been lingering on for a very, very long time will be fixed. We're doing the same thing as in North. We started in Kumewu, at least for the two by-elections that we have had. Cast your mind back to by-elections in the past. The political class do not take the people for respect. They don't respect the people. And this woman is asking that their MP actually be killed. May their MP fall dead, so that the president, the vice president, and all the other creme de la cremas, all the hotels are full in Asin North, so that they will all come there. How did we sink so low? How did we get here? And you know, institutions like the NCC and the rest who must be resourced to do public education will not be resourced. The workers themselves are demotivated at NCC because they have paid they have contributed for tier 3, and their tier 3 has matured, and they will not be giving their money. And when they come to the press, you have top officials of the NCC come to say, so when you took the matter to Johnny Hughes, what has happened? Reckless commentary. Reckless commentary. This is what the people are beginning to think. And you see, there was another dangerous phenomenon where you had a situation where, so if the MP dies, bring his wife to come and replace him. So the MPs themselves started complaining that their lives may be in danger because their wives could be killing them. If the people start thinking that the public good will not be delivered unto them until somebody dies, it's a problem. The delivery of the public good must not be hinged on the fact that somebody died. The delivery of the public good must be hinged on the fact that the people were made a promise, and that promise was delivered in record time, because the people continue to pay their property rate, their business operation permit, the people continue to pay their COVID levy, they continue to pay their VAT, their NHI levy, they continue to pay all these things, they continue to pay their income tax and whatever. And so once they are paying, they are working like bulls. The government's got to wake up and work like a bull as well. But is that what they get? We're waiting for the next by-election to go and do show off, to have people, all the creme de la creme, go there. They're saying that this is the thinking of the people. Oh, it's a dangerous thing to think about. And so now it takes me to the another issue that I saw. 2 videos I saw last week. Play the video of the president for me. He was angry. The president was angry. Play the video. Now the president is angry. No, leave the video on. Let the video be there. The president is angry. Mr. President, I have put the video on. Mr. President, I have a few questions for you. I like this anger. I like this anger and the fact that you're trying to defend Ghana. This was the national anthem where the chief of Bimpasem, Niapao Togbo II, has said that he was not feeling too well. But you were justified in your anger because anywhere in this country, in our schools, whether you believed it or not, when the national anthem is sung, you have to be upstanding. You have to respect the national anthem. So you were justified in this anger, Mr. President. And this anger is the same anger I want you to transfer into fixing the messed up economy. The economy that you and your team have messed up. I want to see that same anger in fixing the economy. I want to see the same anger being exercised in causing a reshuffle in your government. Because it's novel that you have run for 7 years and that there has not been any major reshuffle. I want to see this kind of anger being expressed in trying to cut down the size of your government. The diplomats have spoken to you. Your local people have spoken to you. Key stalwarts of your political party have spoken. You have not listened to them. Mr. President, I want you to use the same anger to improve the lives of the people. You promised the people that in 18 months you are going to transform Ghana. 18 months. How many 18 months have we had, Mr. President? Use that same anger. Mr. President, I want you to use the same anger. You see that Al Jazeera Gold Mafia response that Al Jazeera said they had written to you when we wrote to Al Jazeera. You are holding on to that report, that response. Mr. President, use this same anger and publish it that you are not guilty of a certain $100 million bribe and Chobo. You see the same anger, Mr. President. Use that to fire the health minister for that Sputnik V Chobo, the vaccines. Mr. President, you see the same anger, I want you to use this same anger to sack non-performing CEOs and MDs of state-owned enterprises. You see the same anger, I want you to use that to fix the road, fix the economy, rearrest the dollar, Mr. President. You see the same anger, I want you to ask all the people, use the same anger to ask all the people mentioned in the Kwabena Frimpong Boateng report. I want you to use the same anger to ask them to step aside while the police and the OSP are investigating. Because in any serious place, when matters are being investigated of somebody, that person who has influence is asked to step aside, Mr. President. Use the same anger, Mr. President, and ask the people who are being investigated to step aside. Mr. President, use the same anger to give the children their textbooks in the schools. How long has it been since you changed the curriculum, Mr. President? Use the same anger to provide money for constant feeding of the children. Use the same anger to provide constant vaccines for the children, Mr. President. Use the same anger, apply it to economy, fixing the country, Mr. President. Use the same anger to check on the MMDCs and to give us the opportunity to vote for our MMDCs as you promised us, Mr. Chairman. Use this same anger, Mr. President. Mr. President, use this same anger to let Ken Ofori-Atta go, because so far he has proven that he is a worst manager of the economy, and your own MPs have told you. Mr. President, use the same anger. At least, if we won't see anything at all, use this same anger so that when you do some of the things I've spoken about, your legacy will be entrenched, Mr. President. So far, the goodwill you had before 2016, where everybody thought that if you hadn't become president, Ghana would forever be doomed, that goodwill has been washed away largely. The people around you, Mr. President, will not tell you this. And you can see from the demeanor of Mr. Henry Quartey, tall, thick, tall giant. When the president told you see how he put his hand behind him and went, respectful minister. It gives us an indication how they are. And nobody could tell the president that your public outburst may not be too good for your image, Mr. President. It takes us back to, is it the president arrogant? Is he a tyrant? Is he this? It fits into it. Public show, meta communication, para language, Mr. President. So I like your anger.